We are here with the lovely Tashera Simmons, ex-wife and mother of DMX children. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, of course. Now,
What really triggered me giving putting my voice out there was therapy. Before then, I just felt my loyalty was so deep with DMX. And me and him has been friends. We have so much history. And it's like when I'm a friend, I'm a friend. And regardless of what he did, I saw my best friend lose his soul and gain the world. And I was just like, you know what? I felt like I was blessed that I didn't have to deal with what he dealt with as far as losing his identity and who he was. Exactly. So, but after therapy and sitting there with him and seeing how he showed his butt, it made me look at things differently. And I felt like they didn't really give me a chance to show my voice on that show. So when this came about, and I've been approached with many other shows, but the network, I love TLC. I like what they're about. And when I found out the whole concept of the show, I was like, I want in. And that's when I found my voice. You know what? I found my voice now. This show has been therapy for me. It really has. And you're going to see it, and it's not over. I still got a little 10% out there I'm trying to find in myself.
Sure, but I was also on Discovery. I was on a TV show called I Married a Mobster. So I was, they're in the second season right now. I was season 1, episode 1. The whole concept of that whole show was based on my story. The executive producers came to me and asked me for, because they knew my life and they knew who I was, and they wanted to write a story about it. And I refused to do it for the longest time. I wanted to just focus on my children, not focus on who my ex-husband was. So it took me years before I actually agreed, and then that's how it evolved to now that became, they're on season 2 right now, and then my managers had contacted me and said Nola Productions is doing a story on empowering women who are branching out and getting away from their exes and moving on forward, and they asked me if I would be willing to do it.
interesting enough, your story is a lot different from the mob wives that's, on TV now. They knew of their husband's situation. You were completely clueless. You had no idea. 7 years later, you wake up and it's a whole nother life. How do you deal with that?
You really don't, and I don't even know if you do because, here I am years later, and I still get upset and I still get emotional about it. At the time, I didn't have time to really reflect upon it and get upset over it. I was taken from a happy, high, perfect marriage, perfect life, perfect children, perfect home, perfect everything, not worrying about anything, to bam, here I am the very next day following I followed my husband over to the courthouse because I knew there was something seriously wrong, and to find out it was his sentencing day. And and to finding out he had this whole other lifestyle was very overwhelming for me, and there's no time to really reflect upon it, and all I had to do is put blinders on and to pick up the pieces and moving forward and worrying about that, worrying about my children and what's going to happen with them, and making sure that they're isolated and secluded, and making sure that I'm here as their main provider right now.
So I'm here. This is Josefa Renee with the A.A.V.E, and we are here with the lovely Zakia.
Oh, Josefa.
But thank you, love. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Zakia, she is the ex of Maino.
It was still, I still wanted to protect him. I wanted to protect him and protect his image. It's unconditional love. And I never wanted to bash him, and I still don't want to bash him. I'm just being honest. This is my reality. And my reality with him isn't the best, but it's my reality. But I definitely did not want to hurt him. But I did get to a point in my life, which is where I am now, that I want people to hear my story because it's just time. It's just where I am in my life. I'm not angry with him. I'm not angry with him, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love him as a father of my child, but he had the opportunity to say things about me that was false. And now I'm here to say things about our relationship that's the truth. I'm a realist and I'm very honest. And, you know, I just hope he could bear with the truth. Yeah.
Now, you also mentioned that he's an excellent father, which is amazing. How is your relationship with him? Are you guys on a good note? How does he feel about you doing a show?
Jermaine, I would have loved for us to have a friendship. He left me. I'll be very honest about that. He left home. And I never wanted us to be enemies because we have a child. He resents me, like I said, and it's so unwarranted because it's like we could still be friends. We could have raised our child and still be friends. But he's choosing not to be my friend. He's choosing to be to say mean things about me and just be negative and keep the negativity brewing. And I'm not about that. I want peace. I would love peace. But that's not something that has happened in the past years. It's just he hasn't been peaceful.